DiscoverTheForest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do. And I think that that's the big problem that people...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
p.m. BeExposedRadio.com. And as you can see, I am joined here not by Keisha like usual, but by Sully.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Sully, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
How you doing, Radio World? My name is Sully. I'm a hip hop artist from here in Baltimore, Maryland, specifically West Baltimore, born and raised. Came on to chill out.
Check your mic, just make sure.
Okay.
Turn it on.
Oh no, it's on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speak up a little.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, Sully, hip hop artist, native of Baltimore, Maryland. On here with my friend Mark.
Where can people find your music?
Oh, sorry. So my music is on ReverbNation.com/Gemini Sully. That's Gemini like the Zodiac, Sully. I got music on jsully.bandcamp.com, bandcamp.com. My Instagram handle is @jsully82, JSULLY. And I just dropped a project the first part of a project with a co-artist and my brother, Harper the Don, titled Gemini Season. You can find that on spinrilla.com, SPINRILLA. And all of the major streaming sites too. Your title is just Spotify, Pandora. It's got singles out, so check me out.
Sweet. A little bit before the show, we were talking, and a big Ravens guy, and I gotta say, Keisha's not gonna be too happy, but you're also a big Flacco fan.
Yes, sir. I was a firm believer of Flacco. Firm believer in Flacco, and still a firm believer in Flacco as a quarterback and a player.
That makes me happy because, as our listeners know, before moving here, I was a big Broncos fan.
Okay.
So I still keep up with the Broncos, and I like fell in love with the Ravens.
Right.
So like Ravens and Broncos are my teams, and like I'm totally just jazzed to see what Flacco's going to do over there.
I am too. Like I follow, like I was telling you, I was always a Peyton Manning fan. So when he went out there to Denver, just watching that team he played with, and how Elway was, how they got the players around him. I like the way they keep their personnel. So I'm kind of interested to see how Flacco is with that too.
Absolutely. So we weren't on the air last week because it was Memorial Day. Last week also was the end of the road for Keisha's Road to 40. She hit the big 4-0. Got out there, and Keisha and I did up Memorial Day and her birthday, right? We did some grilling and had some fun. Did you do anything last weekend for Memorial Day?
Yeah, I do. We do a cookout at my house every year because me and my brother actually
Okay.
So had a cookout at the house. My brother's birthday is the 28th. So and then I had a show that night on Keisha's birthday. We did a show, so that's pretty much how we did the Memorial Day.
How about this past weekend?
This weekend.
Live radio. It's always fun.
I know, right? You can't get it no better than this. This weekend just passed. I kind of stayed local. I got an event coming up June 15th. Like I said, we released a project called Gemini Season, so that was the first part. So the second part we releasing on June 15th, and we doing a party for my co-artist's birthday. His birthday is June 15th, so I was just pretty much planning for that for real. Not
like
too much, yeah.
Like a release party?
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's a birthday party, release party, and then we could put a theme on it, a jersey party. So, you know, you pay your admission and your admission for with your jersey, all your favorite sports jersey, nothing in particular, whichever one you want to do. So, just was putting some final touches on that, if you will, you know.
Even Steelers?
I mean, we did say all sports jerseys. We might charge, you know, the Steelers and the Yankees a little bit more, but you know, well, we welcome those fans too. We welcome everybody that want to come out.
There we go. Tonight is a big night for the Orioles. They're off tonight.
Okay.
But the Major League Baseball draft is going on.
Oh wow.
And they have the #1 pick.
The Orioles do?
The Orioles do. And actually, it's hitting right now, 7 o'clock is when the draft starts. We all know how drafts go. They don't give the pick right away. So once we find out the draft pick of the Orioles, we'll update you and say what the draft pick is. A lot of speculation was this kid from Oregon State, catcher.
You know what? Before I left the house, I saw it on the news. So that's what they were talking about. I seen they was showing one of his previous highlights from at bat.
Yeah. Well, he got a really big honor over the weekend. Like, it's only been done twice before. Barry Bonds and I can't remember who else it was, but they pitched to him, walked him on bases loaded.
Wow.
Only like the third college player to get that honor.
Man,
like,
and I used to play baseball, so that's pretty big. Yeah, I played in high school and stuff. That's big.
Yeah.
Wow. That's dope.
He's a catcher, and his stats are ridiculous. He's batting like .479 or something like that. And he's just such a high prospect that a lot of people are expecting the Orioles to take him first.
Okay.
But apparently something came out over the weekend, like he's nursing an injury, and I guess it might be taking the shine off of him.
It's funny how they come up with that, right?
Yeah. And actually, right on the way in here tonight, like word came that 2 highly placed baseball scouts from other teams have said like the Orioles are going to pass on him, and I'm thinking like it's a mistake because this kid, like I said, he got walked with bases loaded. That's ridiculous.
Wow, that's unprecedented.
And I guess the
Wow.
second highest prospect in the draft is a high school player, shortstop.
Okay.
And so now I guess the Orioles are expected to pick him up.
Huh. I think, see, I always, when I do follow the Orioles, it just seems like they need some more consistent offense. Like,
the pitching's always been bad.
I mean, historically. Historically.
And like pitching, like you have to grow those arms. So I hope they do with the rest of their picks, go after some pitching. But I mean, if this kid is what he's supposed to be, like everyone keeps on saying this rebuild's 3-4 years down the line, it could be impressive.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to keep up with that now. I didn't know that. I literally caught that part of the news story. Like I was walking out the door and I was like, yeah, they Oregon State. Like what's so?
Yeah.
But the TV was kind of like on mute, so I didn't really hear it. Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff going on there. Orioles, of course, are still doing horrible. But the baseball draft's always fascinated me because it's in June. It's like in the middle of the season.
Talking to a former baseball player, and I didn't even know. Like they don't even advertise it, but what, twice?
Yeah.
Like, and it's I trip off how much baseball generates so much revenue, but yet like the promotion of it is just so routine. Like some of the campaigning for the Major League Baseball, like I remember them doing the same versions of it when I was like 18, 19 years old. Like, oh man, golly.
Yeah, that 162 game season, that just wears on a person. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I can believe. I mean, yeah, like that's and I understand where though that's why so much baseball is played and not televised, because how else you gonna get over 150 games played? But yeah, it's like I don't know. After like the 7th or 8th game, how do you keep so many people? Golly. I mean, football too short and baseball too long, but that's just my opinion.
It's actually interesting that you mentioned that because just today I saw that there's rumors that, or actually not rumors, but Roger Goodell was saying that the preseason is too long.
I seen the bottom of the ticker earlier too. They were saying he's trying to advocate to get it shortened, but it's going against the CBA, or they got to discuss that. But
yeah, and the owners for a while now have wanted to expand the regular season to 18 games, which just for me is just too much.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know. 16 is a good number. 18 games, like it definitely runs a risk of injury.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know that's always been like the one main point that argues against greenlighting it. But it's funny how that one argument is the leverage that goes as defense because of all of the components that you would think normally would have it green lighted, like the money, you know what I'm saying, the revenue across the league and all of that, and he still be like, well, no, somebody might get injured.
Yeah.
And still don't do it. But me personally, I ain't gonna lie, I would like to see it.
Yeah?
I mean, because 16 is a good number, and of course we've been always accustomed to that, you know, as far as my generation and my era. So I get it, but it just seemed like if they don't extend the preseason, I am definitely an advocate of shortening the preseason. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care that those 4 games even happen. Like, get 2 of them, you know, blow the dust off. Like, because I don't understand. They say they're using the games to blow rust off, but yet you're in training camp and stuff all summer. Like
OTAs, which were just last week.
You're installing the playbook and how the offense is going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I mean, just work more in practice. I mean, seriously, like, and in my young years, I'm old school. Bro, you making sometimes anywhere between $5 and $15 million a year. Man, put a little bit more in practice.
And that's one of the players' biggest gripes is, you know, if the season's going to be longer, like the real games, then they want equal compensation for that. Because basically, they're not getting paid for the preseason games. It's part of that
like the whole CBA, they don't
training or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Which the CBA, the current one, expires after the 2020 season, so they got like 21 months to get this thing nailed out.
Wow, that I didn't know as well. I thought the CBA went a little longer. Well, maybe that's why they're trying to leverage a lot of trying to change some of the rules and everything around it. I mean, I like I said, with the preseason, because that's where my argument comes with the injuries. Like, that one preseason game, more than necessary, can now run that more can further risk of your key player getting that season-ending injury.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand what you say it's no different than a regular season. If you get in a regular season, it's still over. I get it, but it's just completely look different. I mean, the preseason don't count. It does not weigh against the regular season stats. We want him in a regular season. We need him to produce. So trying to get him or get the dust brushed off in preseason, I mean, I just don't believe it takes 4 games. Like, again, like, come on. The training camp, OTAs, playbook.
All right, so we're still waiting on word on the Orioles draft pick. I'm sure it's going to drop anytime soon. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the NBA playoffs. We have so much more. We have some guests coming in, some bodybuilding guests. We're going to get some tips on that. But stay tuned. We'll be right back. Just a Bit Outside Radio Show.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco, strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. Texaco, strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it go. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
City, got my mind strong, take a time bomb. Fuck a pot, I'd rather pat the kitty. I don't want the city, don't call me Diddy. Yeah, I rap my city, ready to show them something they ain't ready for. Make a voice firm so you can't ignore it. Talking shit like
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Get out to the forest and discover the wonders of nature with your family, just like Blue, Jewel, and the whole Rio flock.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Let's rock this jungle.
Yeah!
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning.
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great!
And endless surprises.
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing.
Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to.
Then what you're going to do is turn onto Marcy Avenue.
Just broke up,
and go past the first 3 lights, and then take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you for joining us each and every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. You can always find us on YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Throughout the week, check out older shows on those platforms or Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Pretty much wherever podcasts are, you will find Be Exposed Radio and Just a Bit Outside Radio Show. Before the break, we were talking some Ravens. And real quick, before we go on, there was some Ravens news that came down over the past week. Really big news, not necessarily on the field, but Haloti Ngata Signed a one-day contract.
To retire as a Raven.
Retired as a Raven.
Yeah, that's what's up. I caught a clip of that when I was moving around. I was like, yo, that's cool. That's what's up. Because I honestly, Nada was somebody I didn't think would have left the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was cool that he came back. That was up. That's definitely what's up.
Absolutely. Another one is former coach Brian Billick officially announced that he will be inducted into the Ring of Honor this year.
Sheesh, he wasn't already there? God, he only gave us our first ring. Like, that's what's up, though. That's what's up. That's what's up.
You kind of wonder what took him so long, but
it was a Kyle Bowler thing.
I guess he was just doing his own thing in the broadcasting world, so finally decided to accept it.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's definitely cool.
Let's see.
I hope Gerald McCoy is signed with us, to be honest with you.
Oh man. So actually, I haven't heard anything on him today, and I thought he was supposed to announce his decision today.
Yeah, I know that. I thought I saw something that don't quote me. I caught the tick as it was going. Like his narrowed down choices were between us and Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, like I know the end of the ticker said Baltimore Ravens and Carolina Panthers. I was like, well, all right. Well, at least we made the final two.
So last week he took trips to Cleveland, here in Carolina, and he actually stayed an extra day here, which kind of like made a lot of people think, oh, he's going to lean towards the Ravens.
Right.
And a lot of the people in his circles say he wants a championship, and if he wants that, the Ravens are probably in a better spot than Carolina right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Because, starting from a division winner to get into a good spot in the playoffs out of the two, rather, we got a better spot taking the North than Carolina got taking
Oh, yeah. Ever since their Super Bowl run a couple years ago, Carolina just has not done well in their division. They have the Saints to contend with in Atlanta.
Yep. And they too spotty on offense. Like, hopefully it'd be more consistent, like, with Christian McCaffrey being more integral in the offense. And I always believe they got to do something with their receiver core. Like, that's why it would trip me out when they let Calvin Benjamin or traded him or what have you. I was like, well, y'all know y'all ain't really got too many receivers, right? But okay, all right. And Cam, you trust. And a family member of mine, my cousin boyfriend, he's an avid Carolina fan, and I love it because I can give it to him and his family, so he can't say nothing.
Oh, I got a bunch of Carolina fan friends that, it's just like, la la la.
Yeah, like, your quarterback's cool.
And I do, what's he been in the league now? 2 years, McCaffrey?
Yeah.
And I love him. Like, I picked him to be Rookie of the Year at the beginning of the year, his first year. And, if there's a dude that you wish would become a free agent and come over, McCaffrey is it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, I watched him at Stanford, and and then fortunate enough in my era, I got a chance to watch Ed McCaffrey as a wide receiver.
Dude.
And I think it's special to see the son of a wide receiver become such a recognizable running back.
Yeah.
Like he's like, we know the typical profile of running backs. So it's like to see him and actually, really be into that position. Like, he's not just like a really good catching fullback or just a little bit too short to be a wide receiver. Like, he's really a running back though. Like, he'll run you over and all of that. So I if running back wise, I like Saquon Barkley and I like him. Like, right now, I think they're really intriguing as players. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned Ed, because Ed McCaffrey, he was a longtime Bronco, and man, like, he was my favorite player to watch forever. And to see his son come up and just do what he's been doing, it's been
absolutely.
Great.
Well, I come from the video game era, so when we used to play football, if I grabbed Denver, Ed McCaffrey might have like 17 catches in the game because he ain't gonna drop the ball. But yeah, it definitely is good to see. Like, and he was really productive in Stanford. But it's always does it translate to the league? So it was really good to see him transitioning to the league pretty smoothly so far. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I think we ran that into the ground, the NFL, a little bit. We're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs, the finals. There are 2 games in. So stay tuned. We're going to pick that up at the end of the break. Just a Bit Outside Radio Show.
I could talk football.
No, it's cool.
I love it.
Like, I'd rather have a conversation than just sit here like,
It is what it is. Radio show.
Go ahead. All right, listen. All right, say situation. Cause I keep telling y'all, it's different situations in the child support thing. You can't just pinpoint one thing. You can't just say, "Oh, here did be. That's why you're on child support. Oh, he this. That's why you're on child support. Oh, she this. That's why she on child support." No. Sometimes it could just go off of, "Oh, I just called him and asked him, can he pay for the pictures? He ain't want to pay for the pictures. I'm taking his ass downtown." Yup.
Well, you got to know. Know who you dating.
Hold up.
You just like
I just called her. I just called her and asked could she just get Junior some shoes. She couldn't even get him no church shoes. I'm taking her ass downtown. Now, when you go downtown, you go down there and you get $500. Right. Now you mad because you getting $500, and now you really ain't getting no shoes for Junior or Lord CC because you getting $500 now. Right.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, if you're a good father or a good mother, and you paying child support, right? You still gonna go ahead and do all that because
hold up.
It's just what it is.
Hold on, and that's another situation.
Right.
But you know what that creates? Now when we at the party, Mommy and Daddy ain't even down there speaking to each other. Cause Daddy done paid for the party and he done came out of pocket this month with $600.
Right, that's your child.
Be mad.
Listen. He shouldn't be mad, but he also has another child with his wife.
That's on him.
Okay,
go ahead.
He got another child with his wife.
Okay.
Right. And you're taking away from him. And they taking away from
Well, he should have kept it in his pants.
Exactly.
Should have kept it in his pants. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop complaining.
You on some whole, he on some whole other shit over here. He on some whole other shit. I'm
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you for joining us each and every Monday, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. You know where to catch us. If you're watching us when we're live, hit that little share button, share the link, share the love. Sitting here with Sully, and time to get into some NBA talk. Finals in full gear.
Yeah, they looking. I watched the game last night. It was different. It was definitely different. I mean, I didn't watch the first one, so I didn't know Toronto had went up on them. But what I saw last night, like, Toronto better stay on their job. Golden State ain't letting up a bit.
You know, when it got to like the conference finals, I really didn't think Toronto had a chance. I thought they would lose to Milwaukee. Milwaukee just looked so strong throughout the season and then throughout the playoffs. And Keisha told me no, that Toronto matched up too well against Milwaukee and that Toronto was going to win. And they took it.
Yeah, they did.
And then they took that first game against Golden State. I was like, holy shit, what's going to happen?
Yeah. When I saw it go 1-0, I'm like, okay. No, I'm not even going to lie to you. When they went up 1-0, I was like, okay, so Golden State not going to sweep them.
Yeah.
So they're not going to sweep them. They actually went to play. But I don't know. Milwaukee just seemed like the team that was going to make it to a point, and now they have to go home and figure out how to keep it going. Like,
yeah.
And I did know that Toronto had like some depth to the team. It just wasn't Kawhi Leonard. So, I mean, I'm not super surprised, but it's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that.
It's going to be a hell of a series.
Yeah.
Like, going into it, I think I had Golden State in 6, but this could go to 7.
Think so?
It could.
What can still go in 5 now?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll go past 5.
Really?
Yeah. My personal opinion is I think when they go to Golden State, because they're in Golden State for the next 2 now, I think it's going to take the win out of the Raptors a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, because last night for the part, like I pretty much watched the majority of the game, it seemed like Toronto felt like they were going to play them knowing that some of their starters were out. You know, your Kevin Durant and then the supporting players, but like they just did what they did. And Iguodala,
that 3-pointer.
Yeah, like, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, he's a pro. He can make this shot. And they were just standing there like, all right, I'm going to take it then. Like, if he'd have passed it, I'd have lost it. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
just shoot it.
It could have been like a false confidence for Toronto, too, because even though they led through a lot of the game, they didn't feel like they were leading.
Yeah.
And maybe they thought because they had that lead that they didn't have to worry.
That's what I noticed too. I seen Golden State play before where they get a lead and they kind of play like they're just defending the lead. They played last night like we're up, but because Toronto, I mean, I did watch it. They were down like 12 or 14 one time.
Yeah.
And they ended up beating by 5. So, you know, they and Golden State played them like we can't let up because they will score and beat us. So that's why I feel like, I don't know, they going out Cali now. Toronto might get some of their win punched out, but we'll see.
One interesting stat I saw was Golden State in 4 championship finals has gone down 0-1 every single one and has won every single one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
Wow, when useless stats count. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Wow.
So KD still didn't play? I think he'll show up?
No, I don't. Let me say this. All right, the next 2, if they drop one, you may hear something of KD's gonna play, but they're gonna limit him to, because they're gonna be like, wait a minute. I don't think you're gonna see Golden State in panic mode. But if they drop one out there, I feel like you're gonna hear more talks of him getting into the lineup to see if he can play, see if he can be a valuable piece for them to just solidify. But I think with DeMarcus Cousins back, they still kind of got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me here talking like I watch basketball all the time. But yeah, like I think because I didn't know him about him too much till he got injured, and then with all the coverage of him, I was like, oh, he's pretty good too. So I don't know.
I think Boogie, going from Sacramento to New Orleans, he like, not that he lost confidence, but he didn't seem like the star player he was. And I think Golden State's like a perfect fit for him. And he's just done great there. And coming back from that injury, they needed him.
I heard, and I mean, that was the one that he had. It was big. And then, because that's when I saw it. I saw that injury he had at Golden State. And then they started talking about the Achilles thing. And I'm like, geez, that kind of sucks. He come right. But I seen him play yesterday, and they were talking about how he's been since he's been back in the playoffs or whatever. And like I said, I haven't watched all the games, but from what they talk, it's like, oh, he's come back and been productive. So again, another piece, Golden State, like, listen, they bring superstars. They don't necessarily need them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about Golden State. Their depth is just amazing. Like, who don't play on that team?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't play? That's crazy. That's definitely, man. But, KD, I don't believe they gonna come back.
Where's he gonna
But you mean as far as the team, as far as coming back to Golden State and playing, I believe he is. I believe they're just not gonna say too much about it. They're gonna make a bunch of hoopla about where he can go, and he's gonna wake up and he's gonna say Golden State re-signed Kevin Durant for such and such X amount. I don't think he's gonna leave.
Wow.
Because I mean, what did he do? He went there because he knew he was gonna get a ring. I'm gonna stay where rings come at. Like, that's the whole purpose. People say, well, after a while, what else is there to do? Get another ring. That's what you keep playing for every season. I don't care if I get so many I can't put them on my fingers. Stop me. That's it. So I don't know. I don't believe he's going to leave. Because he's never been that guy that's like, I want to go to the team, be the guy that takes him there. And I think even if he had that feeling when he was at Oklahoma City, once he noticed the organization wasn't going to structure it so that he could take the team and put it on his back, he said, I'm going to go where I want it and go where we can win.
Yeah, those Thunder teams, like, they should have won championships. And that chemistry, like, they would get them so far, but then they just wouldn't seal the deal. And hopefully he does realize, you know, you do need this supporting cast and this star team like the Warriors, and keep on doing that. Like, I wouldn't mind if he signed again. I don't think he is.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, a lot of people say the Knicks. I think it'd be interesting if he went to the to the Wizards.
But you think it'll be about money? You think they'd just throw so much money at him that he'll go?
I think once a player of that caliber wins a few championships, then they want to see who's going to pay him.
That make a lot of sense. I can take that. I believe at some point, like, not so much that the money don't matter or anything, but it's like you just want to know you're going to win championships because, you know, I would hate to believe that any pro player, when you ask them personally, they'd be like, you know, after so many championships, it just becomes routine. So it's kind of like, again, me being, if the spirit of the player, if I'm KD is talking, man, I'm going to stand Golden State and we about to run a dynasty they ain't never seen before.
You know, it's funny that you say that because, like, as much as I hate him, Tom Brady, like, is exactly that attitude that you just had. Like, he's like, I love winning championships, and I want to win all of them. And he will keep on winning them as long as he can.
That's what I feel like. That's how Big Ben is. Like with Big Ben and the Steelers, he's going to advocate towards what's going on with the team to try to win. You won't see him advocating to keep a player or get a player like that. Like, man, look, just get me something to win. I don't care. Like, I don't like Tom Brady too much neither. But I can definitely say I would believe he the one in the room saying, listen, just get me something that I can win. That's all I need. I don't care who it is, how many letters in his name or what. So I just feel like, I don't know. But I mean, if it's talking about the money, yeah, you're right. So I mean, they can throw him $300 million and he might go running. Like me personally, I believe even from that Thunder team, I always had an opinion, if KD and James Harden would have stayed together wherever they went, they would have been a component to take a team. Like, I don't know, Milwaukee. Milwaukee gets James Harden and Kevin Durant as a pair. Yes, them two take Milwaukee to championships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do believe that. I don't believe that trio. Sorry, Russell fans. Russell Westbrook, he's an awesome player. I don't believe his character is going to allow him to win championship, to be perfectly honest. Unless he's playing a supporting role on the team with somebody that has that, not notability, but that leadership, he's not going to be the one to take the Thunders. I'm sorry.
You know, maybe when the next NBA season starts coming up, like in October or so, and hopefully we'll have you back before then. But I would really love to see you have that conversation with Keisha, because Russ is her favorite player.
She can call me when she get back. I don't care. I mean, because am I going to take anything away from the player? No, I don't take anything away from Ben. I don't take anything away from Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But when it comes to it's a certain part of the character that if it's not open to understand the responsibilities of a leader, it'll always be closed to it. And I don't believe that all of them are open for him. I believe when that team had Harden and KD, it had a certain chemistry that contained Russell Westbrook enough that all he did was be a basketball player.
Yeah.
But now with them gone, he has to be the basketball player. He has to be the focal point. Oklahoma City's face and name, when you think of it, is Russell Westbrook now. I don't think he built for that.
Okay.
I think he's built for the court and nothing else. Sorry. And I ain't saying he's a bad dude. I don't know the guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if you sat in a room with him, he's probably pretty cool to sit and converse with. But when it comes to the role of a professional basketball player and being a leader to take a team into different echelons of contention and, level of competition, not a believer.
Okay.
Not a believer, sorry. But again, disclaimer, amazing player. Jump out the gym. Jump out the gym. But yeah, no.
I want to talk about the final schedule. It didn't start till last Thursday, the 30th.
Okay.
They had like a week layoff between the conference finals ending and the finals starting.
Right, yeah.
For me, that's a little bit too long of a layoff. But the NBA had already set the schedule. It's all about TV. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see it move up a little bit faster. The next game isn't until Wednesday.
And they just played last night, right?
Last night. So it's Wednesday, Friday, and if needed, next Monday.
I don't know. I mean, again, being the level of basketball fan that I am, maybe I don't think about the sport too much, and I'm thinking about the player. Like, if we just ran a series, and I mean, whether it beat up real bad or beat up marginally, like, we made it to the finals.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, thank you for that week. Like,
I'm
if
sure
you
the
made me
players
run till
appreciate
7
it.
games, if I had to run 7 games to get to the finals, then I think that's the byproduct of it saying, well, hey, you'd have had more time if you'd have sweep them next time. I just kind of feel like that's the, we won. We get to take a week off. I don't believe it works in football. In basketball, no. I believe it because when those periods, like you say, a week, and then, okay, Golden State dropped 1 game, but they come right back and get back into shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see those layoffs in football, and they be terrible when they play. So I don't see. But again, a lot of basketball fans may have a little bit more strict of an opinion. I just feel like, you running up a court back and forth. Give me a couple days. But is it always like a week once you do a sweep towards the front when the conference championships? Or?
Well, that's the funny thing. I don't think either team swept. So if they did, they'd have even a little bit more.
Oh, no, they swept. No.
Didn't they play 5?
No, Golden State.
They swept.
They swept Portland.
That's right. That's right.
Because I remember anticipating a game like, oh man, I'm gonna catch a basketball game because nothing's on TV tonight. And when I changed, it was like, oh yeah, they were actually taking the last dribbles, and it was like, yeah, so Golden State is going to the 5th consecutive, and I'm like, wait, they played 4 games already? Like, I didn't even know. So yeah, they swept them in 4, real quick, like too.
That's right. So I think they had like 8 or 9 days off, which
is not typical. Or,
yeah.
Okay.
For them, I'm sure it was nice.
Well, I believe, and again, that's why I feel like, excuse me, if you sweep, well, I guess that's a rhyme. If you sweep, you get to sleep. You get to sleep in.
That works.
I would take it. I mean, hey, I guess it's the same thing like when the coach come in and say, hey guys, you got Monday off, and they go ballistic. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, like you say, TV.
Next game's Wednesday. Swings back to Golden State. It sounds like you think Golden State's is going to win out.
Oh yeah, if they take both of them at home, which I believe they're going to do. I honestly, I feel like Toronto, it's like they're going to take a win. I think Toronto still has this level of, hey guys, we can beat them. I know they got the confidence that they can run with them. I think they still riding that, we really can beat them. And if they take them 2 games in Oakland, you might start to see some doubt linger.
And then once Doubtling or Golden State got you, because they just going to shoot 25 threes, the game going to be over with. So. And I watched some of the games that Steph has been playing, and I think with KD going down, it seemed like, I don't want to say he got no refocus or nothing. I didn't watch him all season or nothing like that, but it feel like he's got this more concentrated effort. Like, I gotta be that point guard now to get us through these games. Who's on the floor? I gotta work as a guard instead of this offensive tool. You know what I'm saying? Like, when all of the pieces on, I feel like everybody is being their own offensive tool, all the way down to Draymond Green. But what I like about it is when one of them players go down, it feel like Steve Kerr puts this more emphasis on, all right, y'all, we got to go in a roll and we got to get this thing done. So I think that's going to be a little bit more than the Raptors can handle. And then there's Drake.
Oh, there's Drake. Hey, Andre, are we about to go to break? All right. That's NBA Finals talk. When we get back, we're going to have a couple of ladies here talk about bodybuilding.
Okay. Flex.
Just a Bit Outside radio show.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs. 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another? We shared the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome. Full of unspoken battles we've won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. Stop chasing cheese or you'll get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never render it back. No, it's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. You're way too gifted to stop and listen. It's condescending, not to mention all of our ignorance. Is there permission to? I know you like to turn up like that. With a drink to pull up like that. Well, baby, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that I'm guiding you.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Just a Bit Outside radio show.
There is one glaring stat that I read about while watching the games over the weekend. New York Yankees went 22 straight innings with at least one strikeout.
Really?
That's a major league record for the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statistic.
It is, you know, and then when you think about it, it's like, okay, you know, that, to me, that's like a big reason why, you know, they're losing right now.
Fall into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song we already own. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough, show enough she couldn't. Keep the feels up from me. I know she couldn't. Keep the feels up from me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark, showing off she couldn't. Keep the feels up from me. We do whatever you like. Keep the feels up from me. I know she couldn't. Keep the feels up from me.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up with, just go hard. Don't let it. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father did. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all her homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. I want to thank Sully for coming in and chopping it up with me for the first hour. As you can see, I've been joined by a whole new crew of people. To my immediate right, I have Nickey Conley.
Yep.
Got that right. And then on her right is Kendra Hammond. And Kendra, who did you bring with you?
I brought my husband, Anthony.
How's it going, Anthony? Good. All right. So we're going to get into some discussions about bodybuilding and everything that you guys came here for, but I do want to give an update. The Orioles did make their first selection, the first selection of the Major League Draft, and they did pick Oregon State catcher Adley Rutschman, who is pretty much everyone expected them to take, an amazing player, and excited to see what he's going to do for the Orioles over the next few years. Progressing from the minors and see what he does here. All right, so why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves. Let's start with you, Nickey.
All right, my name is Nickey Conley. I am currently natural bodybuilder. Also the manager of a new gym called Number One Fitness, and we're located down on 1900 North Howard Street. We also offer chiropractic wellness. Pretty laid back. I do some personal training myself. Got quite a few clients who I love. And I just love what I do. I love fitness. I love health and wealth. I love wellness. This is my life.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Kendra?
I'm Kendra Hammond. I am 39 years old. I have worked full time, 2 children, teenagers, a husband, almost 14 years, and bodybuilding has become a hobby for myself.
How did you guys get involved in bodybuilding? Tell us your individual stories and how you came up.
Want to go first?
Sure. So for myself, after having my last child, my daughter, she's almost 13 now, I had put on a lot of weight, and so I went through a few years of like weight loss, fad diets, workouts, classes, the whole thing. And through that journey, I just fell in love with working out and being able to change my body. And in different workout classes, I met people who were competitors and kind of followed their journeys and was a little inspired. But then I think I was ready for like a challenge, finally ready for like a challenge. And that's when I did my first show in 2016.
So when you say show, like competition?
Yes, first bodybuilding competition.
Okay, 2016?
In 2016.
So it's been about 3 years now?
Well, I that was my first show. I just competed again last October.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how you do there?
I did great. I did the NPC show first, and I placed first in Masters and then third. And then I did OCB's natural show, because I am natural as well.
Now,
and
what are these acronyms? NPC?
So NPC is National Physique Committee, and then OCB, I knew I was going to forget, Organization of Competition Bodies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And so that was a national show, and I placed second nationals.
Wow.
So.
Nickey?
Yeah, so I mean, mine is a long story, but I basically got into weightlifting when I was younger because I ran into a health risk, and it kind of put some fear in me. And after getting through that, I knew I had to change my life. And the day I walked out that hospital, I changed my life for the better. I went straight to the grocery store because I was always active, always into sports, but I was one of those people that thought that if you worked out regularly, you can eat what you want to eat. And that's not the case. So after my little health scare, I went straight to the market and I started just changing my life, what I ate and being more conscious of what I put in my body. And just working out vigorously throughout the years, I've had a number of people say, you know what, you should try to do bodybuilding. I think your discipline it will take you a long way. So I got into bodybuilding because I knew you had to be disciplined, and this is really one of the ways that I make sure that I stay on a disciplined path when it comes to my health, because it's no gray areas in between. You're either doing it or you're not. So that's one of the reasons that I got into bodybuilding, and I continue to get into it. And being a personal trainer, you get to show your clients what the manipulation of food do. Because off season we pick up weight. On season, once the diet change and the calories drop, you're basically going down to skin and muscle. So it kind of let them see and go through the process with you. And they can see, hey, this is what food does. It either it could work for you or it could work against you. And I use that a lot. So it's like you practice what you preach, and it spills off to other areas in your life, having to be like so disciplined. So.
Now there's a word you said earlier, natural.
Yeah.
What's the difference, I guess, between natural bodybuilding and I don't even know what the term for the other version would be?
It's a very touchy situation. I don't really like to talk much about it because to each his own.
Yeah.
And then I'll let Kendra give her piece. But you have people who take enhancements, and then you have people who just go off of natural, whatever my body can produce. This is what you get.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It is a touchy situation. My first show was not a natural show, although I was natural. Mm-hmm. And I felt like for my first show I did pretty well. I qualified. But then 2 years later, which was last year, I decided I was going to do a show and I wanted to do natural because, I just felt like I wanted what I feel is more of an equal playing field. You know what I mean? Of course, to each his own. And so I am a fan of natural bodybuilding.
I'm not sure if either of you are familiar with John Cena, the wrestler, who is massively huge. But he's a huge proponent for natural bodybuilding, and there's definitely been some accusations thrown at him throughout the years, and he's like, I've never put anything in my body that would unfairly give me an advantage.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people who are natural, and they're very well developed and very mature muscles. It just comes with time.
Yeah.
You know, like my coach right now, she's natural. She's made it to Olympia twice naturally, and I mean, if you saw her, you probably would think that she's on some type of enhancements, but she won't even train you if you're on any type of enhancement. Yeah. So she's, because like she said, this is a hobby, like Kendra said, and after this, you have to be able to live, you know, a normal life. This isn't forever.
Yeah.
And putting things in your body to alter it eventually is going to take a toll. And that's why I am a fan of natural, and I would never put anything outside of, you know, my coach say it can't be sold at GNC or Vitamin Shop in my body.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. But again, it's to each his own. It's a very touchy situation, so I kind of, you know, stay away from it. Yeah.
I think the key is that it takes time. You know, your results don't happen overnight. I trained almost a whole year last year for my show. And some people, they have shorter preps, some people have longer, you know, but it definitely takes time.
It takes a lot of time
to build their muscle.
What kind of prep goes into the show?
It's grueling.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to put it. And it's a lot of people think it's physical. It's not. It's very mental. Because, you know, the closer you get to your show, you're probably just eating enough to stay alive.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you get up there, you pretty much have to look like an anatomy chart.
Oh.
You know, I mean, that's the best way to put it.
That's the best way to explain
it. You know, and it's grueling. You're tired.
Yeah.
You know, your energy is low because you're not getting the food that, you know, that produce that energy, and you're running off of next to nothing. You know, the closer you get to yourself. So you enjoy off season, but not a lot. But you know, and you go weeks. You go 20 weeks, sometimes 16, 20 weeks, and you can't eat outside your diet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I started my official prep in June 1st, and from June 1st to October, I ate nothing but what was on my coach's meal plan, and that's tough.
What's the meal plan look like?
Tough. I mean, at different times I had chicken, rice, sweet potatoes, the typical, any vegetables. But then the closer it got, you know, fish, very lean proteins.
Fish and vegetables.
Yeah, and vegetables. You're getting your carbs from vegetables.
Yeah,
you're not eating rice and potatoes and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
One of the comments on our feed is Lonnie Robinson, a regular viewer, says once they go into carb restriction, it gets crazy.
Crazy. Crazy. It gets crazy, and you have to be able to manage your temper.
Yeah.
I mean, everything changes, man. Your temperament, it gets crazy. But I think the more you do it, the more your body is like, okay, this is what we're doing, and get kind of used to it.
Yeah, that's true.
And you my first year, I felt like my mind was slipping at times.
Yeah, me too.
Because your fat is so low.
Yeah.
You know, everything is low. Your fat is low. Your carbs are low. You're not getting energy.
Your patience is low.
Your patience is low. And that's why I say, no matter if you're natural or unnatural, you have to tip your hat to anyone that does this because it's grueling. Yeah. However, for me, it's a discipline thing. Like, are you stronger than? How strong is your mind? And that's what I think does it for me, because I want to make sure I can control. You know, you had a cookout. I went through prep last year, and I literally was flipping burgers at a cookout and didn't feel the urge to touch nothing outside my meal. I mean, I packed my food everywhere.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've mentioned off season. Kendra, you mentioned like your last show, you prepped for a whole year.
Yep.
So what is like the off season? And is there like a certain time frame that these shows take place, or is it throughout the year?
I think to each his own. You know, came out of this knowing that, you know, I just needed some time to take a break and just kind of chill out. You know, some people will use that year to prep for an upcoming show, either later that year or the year after. I'm just kind of enjoying life now, I guess, you know. Not that I'm still working out, you know, I love my workouts. I still pretty much maintain a decent diet for the most part. Allow myself cheats like everyone else, you know, but I don't have that restrictive meal plan. I don't have that, you know, particular workout. You know, I just kind of go in and, you know, do what I want to do in the gym and, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony, so Kendra's going into workout mode, getting ready for a show, getting really restrictive.
Yep.
How's it going for you? You're manning the kids, her energy's low.
Yes, as an outsider looking in, you know, I'm always just offering up whatever I can do to help her through that process. You know, I've always been amazed by the process, you know, because especially for a woman going through this, because a lot of times you have to place on weight, knowing that you have to build muscle and build that strength up, knowing that I can only imagine that probably some mental Olympics going on within. So I definitely have always been amazed by that. So, you know, it's, anything you can do. I help with meal prep, you know, help out with that, you know, with the kids, of
Even
course.
just the kids, because that gives me a little extra sleep, which, you know, you're lacking. And you know.
What are the kids' ages?
15 and almost 13.
Oh, okay, so they're mostly self-sufficient.
Yeah, they are, but they are in
activities.
competitive sports. One is in competitive dance, the other is in competitive soccer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the support is everything. When you go into prep, it's everything. So just having someone there that can do those little things that you just don't have the energy to do. It's that makes a world of a difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even surrounding yourself with people who are there to help and motivate you and push you along, because you know, like you said, mentally you're done. You check out sometimes when you need that push from people and that encouragement just to keep you going.
Yep. Check out.
So how many competitions have you done?
I've done 2. I've done one in 2017, one in 2018, and I'm preparing for my 3rd. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I mean, I love it. I'm in love with the process. Like I am. It's tough, but like I said, it keeps you disciplined and it just lets you know how much control you have, because you have to have control.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I've done 3 shows.
Okay.
I did one in 2016, and I did 2 last October, like back to back.
Oh wow. So as you got into this journey and getting more and more into bodybuilding, every show, do you find yourself like have you become a fan of like the professional bodybuilders and like keeping track of the sport like anyone would, like baseball and whatnot? Like, are there any professionals that you are fans of or try to watch?
I think I just kind of, there's several people that I follow on Facebook or social media, Instagram, you know, and you follow their journeys. I can't really name any off the top of my head.
Bodybuilding is such an individualized sport.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get caught up in watching what the next person do. Because everybody's journey is different. And some people have been lifting a little longer than you and maybe a little bit more developed than you, or you know, a little bit muscles maturer than you and may have made it a little further than you, and you don't want to get caught up into comparing yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So I honestly, during prep and really any other time, I kind of check out from really following anybody, because you have to focus on you. You can't worry about what the next person doing. And sometimes, you know, social media gives so much false, you know, images that you just, for example, my partner, she would always, does bikini. And I've heard her say several times, like, man, she's this, that, and the other. And I told her, stay off social media.
Yeah.
You know, stay off social media and just focus on you, because, you know, people put, you know, filters and this, that, and the other, and I'm not saying they don't look like that in person, but it could be a false sense of reality. Yeah. So I kind of just check out from it and focus on what I have to do. And honestly, you have so much to do in prep that you really don't have time for social media. Yeah. You really don't. Maybe a post here and there to update, your fans or your friends or whatever, but you really don't have time.
Okay, so we're going to get more into social media and whatnot, but we do have to take a break. So we'll be right back. Just But Outside Radio Show.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Talk about in the summertime when all the sports is done. What, baseball? Tennis?
Welcome back. Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube. Check us out throughout the week, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And yeah, baseball is like the big thing during the summer because I'm much more of a football guy.
Yeah, me too.
And I dropped out of baseball for such a long time. But yeah, baseball, like, it's kind of reignited my love for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're sitting here with Nickey, Kendra, and Anthony. And you'd mentioned social media, like you just gotta ignore it. And I think one thing people need to realize is people put their best face forward on social media. Yeah. So no matter what, you're gonna see the best thing. They're not gonna show the ugliness behind it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Very true.
40 selfies they took.
Right, before the good one. Right, yeah.
Speaking of social media, though, is there social media that you have that if anyone's interested in knowing more about the competitions or just your journey, that they can check you out on?
I'm not really big on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I am on it here or there, but I don't really, promote myself. I have a private page. Okay. Just because it's personal. Yeah. Kids, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So.
I mean, I do have an Instagram that's pretty open. It's more like gym stuff, working out stuff. It's _@ Nickey or @ Nickey _ Nickey. So _NINKEY is my Instagram. Not on there much, especially during prep, but I will post here and there. Some things that's going on at the gym, and that's about it. Yep.
Okay. So you both have competitions coming up in October?
No, I competed last October.
Oh,
Nickey's competing.
Okay. You're competing this October. Yeah. You've never competed against each other, right?
No, we've never done the same show.
What's your next show coming up then? Like,
I don't have any shows in sight. No.
No?
No, not right now.
What's the process like? How do you determine when you're going to do a show or what show you want to do?
I know for me, so my first show, I placed 5th. You have to come in 1st through 5th in order to qualify. And that's to do a national show. If you do a national show, you can get your pro card. And so I qualified, and I thought, I really want to try it again and, see where I could get. But it was my first show. So I just kind of took time off, didn't really know that I would do a show again, but it was just kind of something in the back of my mind. And then that show that I did do, I met who was my last coach. And I had followed him for a little while. His name is Daniel Strong. He's an IFBB pro. And he has his own gym, Strong Fitness in Waldorf, Maryland. And so I followed him. He's present on social media. I did follow him, and I admire his work, his other, competitors that he put on stage. And I thought, let me go and talk to him and just kind of see. And we linked up, and I told him kind of how I did the first show, and that, I was interested in maybe taking a chance doing a second show. And then, he agreed to be my trainer, and I just kind of let the chips fall where they may. When I was determined this time that I was going to go all in. Like, this was going to be, a hardcore training, stick to my diet, and my goal was to place higher than I did my first show, and to put on a little more muscle, and just my goal was to look better than I did the first time. And I think I feel like I achieved those goals, so I'm content, I should say, for now.
So you have a show coming up October?
Yeah, I have a show coming up in October. For me, I kind of let my coach pick the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to trust your coach. They're the ones there that's giving you your meal plans, giving you your workouts, and they're the ones monitoring your progress. So she decided that we were okay to start prepping for a show in the show in October. And right now my prep is 20 weeks because she likes to give 4 buffer weeks in case you get sick, for any reason, or you have to, stop working out for a minute or anything come up. So, I kind of go off of what she does. I mean, she's been in the game a long time. Like I said, she's Diane Brown. She's made it to Olympia twice. So, she's awesome. So I just follow her lead. And honestly, that's better because it takes the worry or any decision making out of your hands. Like, you honestly don't feel like making any decisions. This is like, give me what I need to do and let me do it. Yeah.
You made this amazing life change based on a medical issue. Mm-hmm. Like, when you realized that that's what you enjoyed doing, like, how do you go out even finding a coach to get you to the next level?
Like you said, you watch, so you do look at social media. You look at some of the other competitors at the show that has been put on stage by coaches. Yep. And you kind of, like, I know for me, she's a physique competitor, and I wanted someone who was very experienced with a natural body, because you have to be. Just because you're a coach doesn't mean that you can pick or deal with a natural body. So that was one big key. I wanted a coach who was experienced with all natural. And then with her being a physique competitor, I knew that she would teach me the things I needed to learn. So that was another key. And just watching her on social media, and when I finally got to meet her, you could just tell that she knew her stuff, so that was how I decided to go with her. Mm-hmm.
How'd you find your coach?
He competed at a show that I competed at, my first October show. And so I started following him on Instagram, followed his, workouts that he would post, and, saw other competitors. And so, like, Nickey said, he himself is a competitor, and, I admire his work ethic, and, you want to train with someone who knows, who's been there, who knows, like Nickey said, you know, the natural bodybuilding, you know, if that's the road you want to go. And so just, I followed him on pretty much his social media.
And Kendra made a good point. You want someone who has been there. I suffered from tendonitis in my shoulder a year or two back. So it's a lot of movements that I can't perform because it's just painful. And being with someone that's been there, that's been through injury, they can relate. So it's no problem with her making up alternatives for something that she wants me to do. And that's big, because I've had coaches who've done well in the sport but never actually gotten on stage themselves, and they don't understand when you're saying my shoulder hurt, I can't do that. You know, so that alone, just having someone that's been there, done that, suffered through the ailments, because you're not going to get through bodybuilding. Most people, you will have an ailment from the consistent lifting. So having someone that knows the body and knows how these things can manifest and affect you, it's key.
Hold that thought. Just a bit outside radio show. We'll be right back.
Yeah, that's big, because you know, I can't do push-ups.
Are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? You know, we tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to think that it's truth attached to that because of their position, right?
Right.
Is that always the case, though?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons we should be doing some critical thinking.
Yes, I agree. I definitely.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned, then fucked over, but remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me to let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pen I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I peep the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator, but I can't save it. It'll be too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry fakers. Always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patients run that, yeah, nigga OT, cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me, see I help you out.
Business owners, need more customers? Offer fantasy sports contests and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels, auto dealerships, real estate offices. Whatever your business, fantasy sports contests can help you increase your sales and bring you more loyal customers. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. Our software lets you customize contests fast and easy for your brand. That's right. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. That's 888-55-SPORT or visit Fanify.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back. Just a bit outside radio show. Excuse me. Thank you for joining us each and every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Just a bit outside radio show on BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and on YouTube. We're here with Nickey, Kendra, and Anthony talking about bodybuilding, competitions, training, and all that stuff. We'd spoken about the competitions and what goes into it and everything, coaches. And I just totally lost the train of thought that I was on. And I had asked earlier about like maybe people that you'd watched. Have you heard of Mark Henry, the wrestler?
You know what? I am an old timer with wrestling.
Me too. He's more of a strong man.
Yeah, I don't know any.
The world's strongest man. This is tagline. And
he has all the tattoos.
No.
Okay, we're not the same guy. No, I don't know.
Good old Texas boy.
No.
Okay, no, I don't know.
His story is pretty amazing. He like won the Arnold competition years ago and still goes by the strongest man tagline. But WWE Network did a really great documentary on him this year, and he, as a big wrestling fan, learned some stuff that I didn't know. And he like re-injured the Arnold competition again after losing his mom, just to kind of prove to himself that he still had it. And did some amazing stuff there, like lifted stuff people had never lifted before.
Wow.
And it's good to see like having that personal goal to come through and realize it. And I definitely see the two of you doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, wow. It's something about, at least for me personally, it's something I get an adrenaline off of pushing myself beyond what it would normally go, pushing your body, pushing your mind. That's what I think the excitement comes from me. And like, you know, Nickey said, the discipline, can I be disciplined enough to say no when I'm going out, you know, to eat, or to not having things that would be outside of your, you know, prep. And, you know, even last year, physically I pushed myself beyond, or my coach, beyond what I would normally do. You know, now my workouts are nothing like what I used to, I was doing in prep, you know. So just pushing yourself beyond, I think that's the high that you're going for.
Okay, season ends, competition's done. What's that like one food you're like, I can't wait to finally get it?
Oh my gosh.
Anthony wants to talk.
He's like, I will say, as a husband, you get those conversations where I can't wait for this thing to be over.
What was it?
I mean, she has a list of things that she cannot wait to eat. So definitely, it's always a burger like after the competition that she can't wait to have. But then ice cream, because she hasn't eaten it for like 6 months, or, you know. So you definitely get those conversations of that post meal.
And believe it or not, oatmeal.
Really?
I could not wait to have oatmeal, because I would eat oatmeal every day for breakfast. But once I was in prep, oatmeal was gone.
Yeah, it goes away.
I couldn't wait for oatmeal.
Like the twinkle in both of your eyes, like right there, oatmeal.
I could not wait for oatmeal.
I am, believe it or not, I am the simplest. I think after every show, I definitely go get sushi, because I love sushi.
Nice.
And I spent one weekend just eating cheese and crackers.
Really?
Wow.
Wait, like
cheese and crackers.
Like
New York sharp cheese.
Okay.
And
thank God.
Triscuits.
Love sharp
I
cheddar.
love New York sharp cheese and Triscuits.
Wow.
And I spent the whole weekend eating that. But guess what? That Monday it shuts off. So you enjoy the weekend, and then it kind of just shuts off.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, off season, I think I get one meal a week outside of my plan, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So.
Yep.
That's awesome. So I did want to hit the just a bit outside Fave 5, something we do with all of our guests, and we like to know top 5 of something, music. Usually is something that we hit on. So we want to know, both of you, what's your top 5 songs that you use in the gym and as you're hitting the irons?
Man, so I don't have a top 5 songs. I literally will.
Top 5 artists? Nothing.
I like instruments.
Okay.
So I like to hear a lot of different beats. So I will definitely put on like some techno, or it's down south house music, and the techno and the house music, it just get me going.
Down south house music.
Yeah, it's called Down South House Music on Pandora.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
That's different from house music?
Hey, listen, I don't know if it's a deep-rooted house or what, but that's the name of the station.
I'll have to check that one out.
Gotta write that down.
Right.
That's really all I listen to. I will put on like Drake sometimes. I will put on, the everyday artists, Drake, 2 Chainz, stuff like that. But really, just I love instruments. So the techno get me going. Techno music. Mm-hmm.
I am also a Pandora fan, and typically I'm gonna Pandora Beyonce. That just gets me going. My latest playlist is the Coachella performance, the live Coachella performance that the Beyonce did. That's my gym anthem right now.
It's funny because, like you say, Beyonce. I'm thinking, is that really something you can work out to?
Yeah, I can't work out to Beyonce. That's what I was sitting here thinking. Like, you would never catch Beyonce in the
tough.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
And it's funny you say that too, because I will once again go back to wrestling. The wrestler McFoley, his big song before he would do a big match back in the day was a Tori Amos song. Was just like, he was such a huge fan of hers. That's what he would use to pump him up. It's like stuff you wouldn't expect.
Yeah. Wow.
There are times I will listen to motivation speeches in the gym. And when I get in prep and I'm at the gridiron area where your food is like nothing and you're up 5 doing cardio and ab work and fasted cardio with no food on your stomach. That's when I start going to the more motivation speeches, just to, keep my mind going. How bad do you want it? And it just people just preaching in your ear, because believe it or not, it helps. Yeah. And you need that in your ear, because it gets tough. It gets tough.
Any certain like motivational speaker or like more weightlifting geared, or
it's more weightlifting gear, it's more exercise gear, but it's if you go on like YouTube, you can YouTube a lot of Arnold speeches, and just a lot of people that's been in the game. What is his name? Oh gosh, the one who had open heart surgery.
C.T.
Fletcher. He's a big one. Yeah, C.T. Fletcher. He's a big one. I will do a lot of his speeches because he gets down. You want to hear some serious motivation speech? You go to CT Fletcher channel, and he gets you going. So yep.
CT Fletcher?
Yes. When you get down to those last few weeks, you probably are listening to something that's going to more encourage you, because that's when you're ready to throw in the towel. Those last few weeks, you're ready.
Someone said to me before, like, people who bodybuild are not human. And I can understand what they were saying. He was basically saying is because, like, you have to be a different soul to be able to do that. A typical person could not go through what you go through getting prepared for a show. I can't explain what you go through.
The discipline is definitely unnatural.
It is very unnatural.
And when you see the process and you see the final product on stage, it clicks,
Your body is just changing literally every day, and you can't even tell. So sometimes you look at your body and you think, oh, it's not working, or I'm not making progress, and you really are. It's just happening literally every single day,
I had one of my clients say to me the other day, she was like, gracious, your clothes are falling off you. And I mean, the whole prep, I told her, don't pay attention to me right now, because it will not come together until I actually get on stage. Nothing comes together until you walk on that stage. And then they be like, oh, okay. Even to yourself, you're looking like, what's going on? What am I doing to myself? And then once you get on stage, you get that tan on you, and I mean, it's go time. Then it all comes together, And I had someone ask me the other day, what do I do to keep my abs? And I'm like, I don't keep my abs. And she's like, no, I always see your abs always look. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't want abs that look like that. You saw my social media, you saw me on stage. And I had to explain to her, in order to keep abs like that, you have to be hungry 24 hours a day.
Exactly.
And that's not human.
It's not natural.
And so I told her, like, and I tell my clients, do not beat yourself up about abs. Yeah, we're going to try to get the fat off. We'll try to flatten it out. But if you want ripples, then you have to be okay with being hungry every day, all day. And you can't live like that every day, all day. And that's why, like, it's called peak week. It's 1 week, 2 weeks where you go through and you're just at the extreme. With food, you can go through. you have to portion your food out, and you have to be disciplined enough, because you'll eat everything by noon.
Yep.
And then you're sitting looking stupid because you ate all your meals.
Yep.
You know, so and I tell people, like, don't beat yourself up about that. You know, just work on a nice smooth stomach, because once you start bringing those muscles out, you're hungry.
Yeah.
Every day, all day, and that's the first thing that goes.
Yeah.
Once you get off stage and you start eating, your abs
gone. Yeah, that stage, what you look like on stage, it's just your stage look.
Yeah.
It is not what you're gonna look like walking around. It's not your normal. Some people look at me and think, no way, you're not.
Yeah.
You know, because I put weight back on. But this is a normal, you know, look. We see the stage look, and then people think that that's what you're supposed to look like all year round.
You can't.
And that's not healthy.
You can't.
It's not healthy.
You can't look like that all year round. Your fat is just too low. You can't even live with fat that low. You can't. And that's why it's literally, it's that last 2 weeks, you're down to nothing, and then you get off that stage and you go eat.
Lonnie has a comment on the feed. Some people lose their abs on stage during competition.
And that's coaching. You know? If you get up there and you eat something and you drink something and it floods your body with fluid, you know, you're in trouble. And that's another thing. Some people will fast the day before and the day of the show. They just won't eat anything. You know, some people will. You have to be very, very, very cautious of what you eat around that showtime. And that's where your coaches.
I was going to say, that's when it really comes down to having a great coach who knows what to do, and you know, and trusting. It's hard. It was hard for me because I use a different coach the second go round. So trusting that coach can get difficult, especially when you're looking at yourself and you're like, doesn't look like I'm making progress, but you got to trust that your coach knows exactly, you know, what to do.
It doesn't come together, like we said, until you hit that stage. And just trusting someone with your health like that, you know, because you're not in a position to make decisions. And that's why a coach is very important, and a very experienced coach, because they're changing stuff. You know, you know, like one day you might be doing 2 ounces of one, and they say, "Hey, go right down and get 3 ounces of sweet potato, or an ounce of sweet potato." Like it's constantly changing, changing, and they make decisions based off how you look. And you can't make them decisions because you're looking down. It always takes somebody on the outside looking in.
I think I probably had about 6 to 8 different meal plan changes, like throughout, you know, from June up until competition. It got to a point where some weeks I would go in and check my email, and I didn't want to see my email because I'm like, he's going to change something. I think he's going to change something. Oh, I just lost my rice. He just took the rice away. So you just never know.
And I mean, you'll go out and you'll buy food, and this week, and I'm like, Coach, I'm just throwing this food away, so we got to work this in some kind of way, you know. So
I had that
it gets technical. You waste money, and you know, but it's all for the love of the sport. You know, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It definitely is.
It's fun. And then, I mean, just to have your family see you out there, and they're yelling and screaming, and
oh my gosh,
people, you know, and then
it's rewarding.
It's very rewarding.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
For you, Nickey, you're a personal trainer as well.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the mistakes you see people doing as they're getting into bodybuilding?
You know what? I don't really pay attention to people getting into bodybuilding. I personally train people who just want to look good in their dress. I had a woman come to me and wanted me to train her for a show. And I told her no. Only because I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough to coach somebody. Because like we said, it gets very technical. You have people's health in your hand when it gets to the point where they're coming down low and lower and lower in fat. And you need to know how to manipulate that food and make sure people getting what they need. I don't have that experience in that aspect. So if I would say what is one of the mistakes that people make that I've seen with bodybuilding, I would have to say just, I don't know. I really don't. really get into that.
I think for at least for me, I've seen people in competition prep listen to others.
Yeah.
So their coaches have them doing certain things, but then they might get in the gym, and then other people start saying, well, you should do this or you should do that. And I've had that happen. You have to always listen to your coach.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot deviate from your coach's plan. Food, workout, you have to do what your coach says.
Well, I think the piggyback. I think for me, the biggest thing I see is you don't compare yourself.
Yeah.
Just don't. Don't compare yourself to
other people.
The other person. Don't compare. Don't think about who's going to be on stage with you. A lot of people are under the perception that the bigger you are, you got the show, and that's not true.
Nope.
It's all about balance. Mm-hmm. Who's ever well balanced up on that stage is going to be the one that take it. So I that's the biggest thing is don't compare yourself. Worry about you.
And I think that's an excellent place. We're going to go to break now, and to end it, ladies, I want to thank you. Anthony, thank you for coming in.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Just But Outside Radio Show.
Now listening to Just a Bit Outside, the sports radio show at beexposedradio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or at beexposedradio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals they are like one of the worst teams in the major leagues
Baseball
right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have the top record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and Hey,
this is Mark, Just a Bit Outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
Like keys, only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel rap. Let's do it. If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head and I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Working mode, tell them where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell them where the cash. You playing for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride. You know I ride, and you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit for real. When it's me and Murray, just us, we chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Pay the dues that it cost to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you. Oh yeah. Come on, dog, throw this in there. Had to dedicate this to the homie out of New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. You wanna do it? Go ahead, do it. I sit around.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on two.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you for joining us each and every Monday. I've had an amazing night. First with Sully coming in, talking about the Ravens, the Orioles. Shout out to the Orioles for that #1 pick. Can't wait to see what he can do for the Orioles as they could move on. Huge thank you to Kendra and Nickey for coming in, and Anthony for, he was quiet most of the interview, but you can tell he's such a supportive, loving husband, and everyone needs that kind of support in their life. So I want to thank them for dropping by and chopping it up with us. Not much going on in the world of sports right now as far as games that are active. NBA picks up on Wednesday. The Angels today, and it kind of went crazy there. I want to give a big shout out. I've talked about them on the show before. The University of Arizona women's softball team, they were eliminated from the Women's College World Series this weekend. Made it to the semifinal round, double elimination, and they lost to Oklahoma yesterday, getting knocked out. I think the women's championship series is down to Oklahoma and UCLA. And hey, you know what? Those are two amazing teams, and I'm really excited to see what they can do, tearing it up there in Omaha. The Men's College World Series just got underway, the Super Regionals. I know UCLA's in there, Michigan, Creighton, Oklahoma State, and UConn, and really exciting. I think college baseball is something that isn't as high regard as you would like basketball and football, but college baseball is amazing, and it's an exciting time of year for that. So hopefully next week we'll be able to talk a little bit about that. Let's see, NHL, actually that game is underway, the Stanley Cup. Let's see, that's tight. It's tied up 1-1. This is game 4. Boston leads the series over St. Louis 2-1. And yeah, we have exciting things going on for the show. Next week, Keisha will be back. Thank you, Keisha, because I am lost without my steward. She's such a great host, and I really do love her. She's so amazing, and next week she'll be back. So we'd like to end off on a feel good. And for me, I've mentioned wrestling throughout the night, and I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose, formerly known as Dean Ambrose from WWE. He showed up at AEW's inaugural pay-per-view, and then he went on several wrestling-related podcasts and talk shows and kind of talked about how he's found his freedom again. He felt very confined under the WWE umbrella and has found his way as a performer, getting away from them. And that's something that I think everyone appreciates and everyone wants for themselves, to be their own person and find their way for themselves. So, keep on doing what you're doing and find your passion. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm here every week. So until next week, Baltimore, spread love, yeah.
Check out this flashback.
Right.
Right.
To know that I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Drug use.
It's crazy.
So again, derived from the lyrics. Talk to me about the interpersonal conflict.
So let me say this, and I think that